This is your daily market review for Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review. Wednesday, November 8th, 2023. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Some good trading today, a little down trades, a little watching, setting alarms, pretty relaxing and laid back kind of day. Hopefully you are prepared for what's to come and are being patient. Again, let the trades come to you. I know a lot of people reach out going, I got to go big now and got to do this, and I'm going balls in, whatever. I guess I technically shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. They're going heavy. And I'm like, you got to let things come onto you. Because as of right now, we talked about, we need bulls to get incredibly arrogant, bears to completely give up their positions. And I don't know if we're there today. I mean, it could be, a closeness, but it just kind of is what it is. Like, know your levels, be prepared. Some stocks are down today, some are up. We're getting closer, in my opinion, to some of the first down move that I would expect that could be followed by a small rally that then gets slammed. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, doing tons of live chats. So if you have the notification bell, you'll know. You don't have to be constantly hitting refresh. No, I'm just kidding. TradingAgent.com, more information, back to basics series, more beginner to more advanced stuff. Also, check out the recommended reading book. Need to change this to the 2024 one, but you guys know. Also, referral. If you want to make sure your brokerage does not go belly up, I would check out Interactive Brokers. Absolutely. Schwab, TD, whatever, all these guys. I think they're going to have some struggles. I mean, saw Hood getting crushed today. Yeah. Also, Marcus, get your 5.4%. Get your higher interest rates, for the love of God. Also, follow on Twitter. Hit me up if you have any questions. Again, if you need to chat, use the Calendly link in the description. Always here to help. All right, let's get into it. Fed Watch Tool, not expecting a cut until May, but in my opinion, that's only going to change as soon as things get a little hairier. This is the Bitcoin holding up. So far, so good. Oil, we talked about, was going to get crushed. I mean, it will get crushed. I mean, I just don't know what levels it'll hold. 60s, maybe 40s, 50s. We'll see. Talked about demand destruction being a real thing. Well, here you go. You're right back to where you started. I think this is probably the pre-price level. I'm trying to think of what the price is. Yeah, I mean, we're back at some pre-price levels that I think we should hold here near term. Natural gas, it's just kind of all over. I don't really have a preference to really talk about it. Just like, you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. It's just, there's nothing there. Dollar, again, watch for dollar volatility, in my opinion. As we've said, I mean, it's very clear now. You're in a big trading box. Let's just call it what it is. It needs to get out of this. And the volatility, which way it'll go, I don't know. TLT, again, we've talked about it, chopping the bottom. Well, today's action, you got to give bulls credit. It got over the 50-day. However, you're coming into some major resistance here near term. So if you want to take some profits, I understand that. If you're long bonds, again, I've said I think there's better trades in time than longing bonds near term. However, I do believe the bottom will have some sort of retest. I mean, it's just the nature of bonds. They're usually pretty choppy. And now if this is the bottom, it's the bottom. Then gold and material should start rising, but here's the problem. They're not. So just keep an eye on it. Like, again, it looks very confusing. And I'm admitting, it's confusing to me too. I'm not sitting here going, I think I got it figured out. The VIX, we talked about the biggest 5-day move. Now it's getting priced to perfection in a sense where I think you can start looking at shorting. Just be careful. VIX holding, right? Holding down here. Look at this pop up. Just keep an eye on it. SPY. This is where it gets a little difficult. Now you've got a doji. You've got multi-day ranges. Do we need to get to the channel? Could we get there? It's possible. Or is this just a double top and then it flops? This is where it's a little hard because you saw this in November of, what was it? Yeah, here you go. Like 2022, 2023, you had like this like boom, retest, then pow. You saw it also, where is it? Where are you, bud? Here you go. Again, we get these like retests and then it's like kapow, Kelly Kapowski. And it could be just a chop zone. There's a lot of things here that I think you could argue ways that it happens. I would just tell people, again, you are now getting close enough where I think it makes sense. Define your risk. I mean, if the new bull market's on, considering how absolutely terrible the economy is going to be and will be based on credit and everything else going on, good luck. I struggle to believe that. Again, as things get worse, unemployment's going to rise. Good luck. QQQQQ. We're hitting our max upside. Just, again, does it have to fall today? Does it have to fall this afternoon? I mean, a lot of people had in their mind, like, it just had to crash today. And I'm like, I don't know. But as we talked about, like, I expect, like, either a choppy, kind of like a dip that gets bought, then flop, or here you go, a bigger dip, chop, then drop. You see how every first dip gets bought at some point. So if you want to trade it and short it, I mean, you're probably going to look at somewhere around, I mean, if I had to guess, because again, if this is the top, I mean, somewhere in this range would be probably the first support I would look for. And same thing with like the SPY. You're probably looking at, again, people were like, oh, it's going down to 200. I'm like, that might be too quick, too fast. I would assume somewhere around 430 to like 428. I think that would make sense. Like back testing some channels, all sorts of stuff, just to get people like all in it. IWM, as we talk about lagging, well, definitely lagging. Definitely lagging. So we'll see. I mean, it's one of the things that IWM leads, and it looks like crap. So I think we're due for some down move. DIA hits a channel high, the 100-day. Looks pretty spot on to me as we're nailing that area. Gold. Here again, if bonds are rallying, gold should be getting bought, in my opinion. But the Feds aren't going to pivot. So we're at this weird point where, again, I've tried to warn folks. I don't trust it. And people got mad at me, and I'm like, just leave it alone. Like, the miners are telling you something. Said silver was looking like crap. Like, silver should be up at the 23 level. No. Talk about how the miners should be up in like the low 30s. Minimum. Uh-oh. Right? Like, somewhere in here. They're not. So the miners lead, the metals will follow. And here it is. It's coming. GDXJ, same kind of thing. AG, again, as much as this name has gotten absolutely cooked, toast, burned, I don't know. Could it go lower? I don't know. AEM, these names look like they have more room to drop. Breaking out of the channel, faking out, now getting back into it. Just getting under the moving averages, not good, right? Just not good. Newmont, this name should be much higher. Look at this thing. Somebody knew something to get out yesterday. I mean, this is just absolute burn toast. This looks so bad. Like, miners should be on fire, and they're not. And there's the dust up in the 13s. Whew, pass. Same thing. God, leave these things alone. I'm telling you, just let them get crushed. Taiwan Semi. Been there, done. I've seen this. Watching up here, because again, I think you can short this area. I mean, with a tight stop. It's very simple. Micron, we talked about getting up into the 73 area. Like retesting this range highs. Now you've got a 3-day range. I would watch. 4-day topping range. Like if it gets over 73.19, you kind of have to go. And if it breaks below 71.68, it should drop. AMD, we talked about, hey, getting up to the channels, all these like confluences, pretty close. You have a 3-day range here. Sorry, no, I missed the doji. You did hit it exactly. Man, I apologize. You hit that exactly. If that ends up being, again, it's a backside of a trend. It's filling the gap. I mean, this is important stuff. So watch what happens here. Again, maybe it doesn't crash today, or tomorrow, but I'd be watching the levels. NVIDIA, same thing. Like we've just gone 490 up to 390 up to 470. Come on now. Get out of here. Intel, this one started cracking today, which is a good sign for semis. Engulfing bar, I think you see any pop on Intel, I would take it for a short. SMH, we said watch the low 150s. Man, you're close enough. You're close enough for government work with tight stops. Adobe, surprised, but not surprised that we went up to the channel high at some point. I mean, once it started holding up with the market, it knew it was going to go higher. Apple, if you shorted this today, makes sense to me. Fill the gap, chopping around. 9 straight days of up. I mean, it makes sense. Amazon starting to get tired up here. This thing's gone ballistic. Gets up here into the old range highs. Not surprised it's starting to get tired. CRM. Okay, you're starting to see a recurring pattern here of tiredness near term. 100-day. At some point, I mean, again, I think these start to roll. Shorted Google this afternoon, was just kind of looking at going, all right, I love it. 20-day curling down. Gaps down on earnings. Gets into the gap. I mean, could it fill the gap? I mean, it's always possible. It's always possible, but I'll use the 20-day. And the 20-day was acting as resistance all day. Maybe it gets a little over it, and then it flops. I don't know. Meta. This one's harder. It's holding up. I mean, there's really not much references here. Microsoft, now people are saying, oh, look, Microsoft's making new all-time, making new highs. This is the market's strong. Everything's great. It's like, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you do you, boo. I would be absolutely careful because, again, I don't necessarily trust it. It's just stretch, 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 stretch. Armstrong. We'll see. I mean, we shall see. NDAQ needs to get a little higher. Give me some upper 52s. Let me know if someone sees it. MicroStrategy, again, watching with Bitcoin just chopping around. It gots to break out. It gots to go. And if not, watch it. What happens if it backs off? Netflix, really hoping for some 450 range. I don't know if we'll get it without maybe later. Keeping an eye on that. Roblox had some good data out today. That's good for them. But then I mean, look at that. I mean, as soon as it popped, they sold that sucker. Tesla, we said the multi-day range here. 20-day. Makes sense to short here, but don't be surprised if it got up to 430 as well. Like, again, just don't go all in here. Start layering in. Know that action could be at least choppy, sloppy going into OPEX next week. You've got also the federal government has to figure out their budget deficit stuff, their budget, or a budget in general. I mean, do they actually have any budgets anymore? I don't know. And then also, too, things can get very dirty very quickly. But I think you need to, again, wipe out the bears and get the bulls just going. We can't lose. We're not going to take it. I don't know why it came to mind. Nucor, watching this again, like Wiccan. Caterpillar, love this short, but just I'd really like to see some more pop on it. FedEx holding up pretty well, but watch, it's just holding the 20-day. I think if you get any bounce, you see that 50-day. Holler, Costco shorted this up in the 570s pluses. Once it got down to 564, I took profits waiting for a bounce. If we see any 570 level, I'm all over that one. VALE, global growth name, getting back up to a range. Rolling over. Arrow, copper's been absolutely decimated. Look at this thing. Good gosh. I mean, again, I thought 15 was a cheap price. CCJ, got to be concerned. Channel high failure potentially on the docket. CF, again, we love ag names long term. Just, they're going to be really hard. They're just going to go nowhere. In my opinion, with a possibility for more down. Mosaic, same thing. And TR, they all look just kind of stuck. And again, long term, love them. Near term, just leave them alone. Leave them alone. Alco. Chopping. Again, love aluminum. Going nowhere fast. XLF. Really thought we might need to get up to the 34s. I don't know if we're going to get there. All the moving averages are acting as resistance. Up 100, 200, 50-day. Let's see what happens here. JPMO, really starting to like this one again for a short. Look at this. 0.618. You got the 50-day, you got gap fill here. I'm all on that, watching that. Morgan Stanley, I'm amazed someone went long this piece of crap. Like, it's literally like the loser of the loservilles. And so, again, if you want to go long, go strong, long names. Go long, strong names, and leave these names alone. Not going anywhere. Bank of America, again, looks like another piece of turd. Really would love to see the 200-day, but maybe it's just the 100-day. And then Goldman Sachs. This one's at channel galore. Check your channel. Again, I would really love to see it get up into the 330s. That would be just beautiful. Bellissimo. Carry fills the gap. I mean, junior banks are junk. I mean, we talked about Citizens Bank going belly up on Friday. I mean, it just doesn't look good. XBI, talked about bios just all over the place. Look at this. One day green, one day red. These are $2 ranges every day. So good luck with that. Talk about headache. Yikes. Ay caramba. Solar. Man, I don't even know why we're talking about solar stuff. It's just absolute garbage. Fail. 20-day. Sedge. Going nowhere. ENPH. See you at $10. First Solar. Really want to see some pops to the 160s. Not even getting it. HYG. Chopping around. Again, we'd like to see this action play out. Like, what's going to happen here? I don't know. Major moving averages. I mean, yesterday's red candle, or 2 days ago on Tuesday, Friday, Monday. A little ominous. We'll see what happens. Oil, as we've talked about, absolutely burned. You surprised? No. Hopefully, again, you pay attention. You watch this channel. Again, I get a lot of people who post stuff in the room, and I'm like, we talked about this. No? Okay, I guess you hadn't watched the daily recaps. Now, again, we said even when we looked at the USO chart, you're probably at support. UNG, again, people were like, oh, I got to buy this. I'm like, all right, well, good luck. XOP, we talked about the drip in the 9s, looking good here in the mid 11s. Channel break, just a matter of probably if not when it gets cooked more. ExxonMobil, again, if you shorted this at 113, 114, you're like in the last 2 days action because you gapped down and then you did not follow through. You had a 2-day range making lower lows. It doesn't really look so hot right now. MPC, we talked about this is a double topping, shorting when the trend line breaks. Much lower. Valero, again, gasoline demand. This is a real thing, folks. Real problem you're going to have here. Gasoline. It's not looking good, y'all. Just not looking good. And these things can come way down. I mean, this thing could come down into the 90s if I remember right. Yeah. Easily. Facilmente. Easy. Occidental has earnings yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever. Gap down, chopping around. I mean, Buffett's just selling calls on this every time. But nobody listens. EQT, we said, watch the 44 level. Uh-oh. It just doesn't look good. Flex LNG, I don't know what to say sometimes. Flex LNG will end it there. We like this name in time because I think we will be natural gas exporters. But at this point, it's just kind of going to be stuck. So if you have any questions, again, use the Calendly link. Reach out. Love to chat with you. Appreciate all the love, support. Again, some of you guys with some of your generous donations. Either way, just make sure you're paying yourself. You're doing the right things. Taking money out, putting money into different accounts. Like if you're trading options and you're making money, we'll put some money into a stock account only. Create some sort of safety net for yourself so that when you do make mistakes and you're wrong, or something happens that you can't control, you're not absolutely blown out. So if I can help you out with anything, please reach out. I'll talk to you guys and gals later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.